Doctorul Dorel, Part 2, extends the comedic madness of Las Fierbinți into philosophical territory disguised as rural chaos. The episode begins with the entire village buzzing over Dorel's miraculous cures from the previous week. Dorel, half believing his own myth, now carries himself with a theatrical authority, wearing a white coat that once belonged to the local butcher. The villagers line up in front of Bobița's bar, clutching bottles of homemade remedies and superstitions. The visual absurdity is striking. A man pretending to be a doctor in a place that desperately wants to believe in healing. The humor here is built not on ridicule, but recognition. Everyone has a little Dorel inside them, a part that wants to be seen as competent, meaningful, or exceptional. The script plays on that universal craving for purpose, wrapping it in village absurdity. What makes this episode stand out is how it balances farce with vulnerability. The humor is sharp, yet there's a sense of longing underneath every laugh. Dorel's patients come to him not because they trust his knowledge, but because they want someone to listen. The absurd prescriptions he gives, a nap under a walnut tree, a dance around a scarecrow, a teaspoon of beer for balance, become metaphors for the escapism people seek when reality feels unfixable. Meanwhile, the subplot involving Gianni and Aspirina adds contrast. Gianni tries to sell vitamins that are actually colored candies, while Aspirina pretends to faint to test Dorel's medical reflexes. These interactions build a layered satire about deception and self-deception, but with affection rather than cynicism. The cinematography mirrors this tension beautifully. The handheld shots and natural lighting make Fierbinți feel both real and dreamlike. The camera lingers on Dorel's eyes during quiet moments, capturing the insecurity behind his bravado. When he looks into the cracked mirror at Bobița's bar, the reflection says everything. A man trapped between comedy and tragedy. There's also an unforgettable sequence where Dorel is called to operate on a chicken that Celentano accidentally hit with his bike. The scene is ridiculous, but the exaggerated seriousness of everyone involved turns it into pure comedic gold. Yet, beneath the laughter, there's something genuinely moving about their shared delusion. They all want to believe they can fix something, even if it's just a bird. The emotional climax comes when Dorel's mother visits him, proud of her doctor son. For a brief moment, Dorel believes in his own lie, standing taller, speaking softer, and pretending he has finally made something of himself. The silence after she leaves is devastating. The illusion collapses, not with anger, but with quiet resignation. The show doesn't punish Dorel. It simply lets him exist in his contradictions. By the end, when his stethoscope breaks and he uses a beer bottle instead, the comedy comes full circle. Las Fierbinți has always excelled at finding depth in nonsense, and this episode proves it once again. Doctorul Dorel, Part 2, is not about medicine. It's about meaning. It reminds the audience that sometimes delusion is the only thing that keeps a community alive. When Dorel sits by the roadside, watching the sun set over the fields, the entire farce feels poetic. The laughter fades into a kind of tenderness, and the viewer realizes that beneath all the absurdities lies a quiet truth. Everyone in Fierbinți is pretending to be something they're not, but that's what makes them human.